A well-known rhino orphanage in South Africa is shutting down over security threats. A brutal attack on February 20th left 2 rhino calves dead. Poachers shot the calves and removed their horns. In a statement released on their Facebook page May 1st, the orphanage said, quote, "Our focus is ensuring that the facility is safe for both people and animals." All the rhinos have been relocated to different facilities.
We're quite excited today. We're going to move her back to the reserve where she'll be hopefully wilded quite soon. Without the support of people like you, we won't be able to do what we do. So, thanks, Amal. So Nandi and Storm had to be moved from the facility where they were at due to the security risk. They had quite big horn. The situation there was just getting worse and worse, and they were likely going to fall victim to poaching. So we were sort of hard-pressed to move them. It was a bit premature because these animals were still dependent on milk. So we were able to convert the boma so that it's suitable for them. We also didn't have staff that were able to or had any experience in feeding animals with milk, etc. We got one of our rhino monitors that were looking after 2 white rhino that we sort of rewilded a while ago to take on the challenge, and he did exceptionally well. He was able to learn how to do the milk and care for these animals, and it worked out very well. So soon after Nandi and Storm were relocated back to the reserve, we had a call from the old orphanage indicating that the 3 remaining orphans there were going to be moved to a facility in Hoedspruit. Big risk was that the security problem there was very real, and we had a very, very short space of time to put something together. All we had was an open piece of land that we now needed to convert into a fully blown orphanage, secure, with all the bells and whistles that go with it, and got quite a lot of support from various different places, including container conversions. We were able to bring the containers in, get them converted to spec with everything that we needed for this unique situation. Not long after we managed to get the containers up and the poles built, the orphans were scheduled to be moved to the reserve. This was a very, very stressful time for all of us, as these animals were very used to their current environment, and now having to move them here, there's a lot of stress associated and a lot of risk associated with the translocation. It was quite a long day for them, but they settled in very quickly. They were in their warm containers with heat lamps, and I must admit the relief of having them now here and in a very safe space was just overwhelming for all of us.
So just as we thought we'd had all our ducks in a row at the orphanage, coroner received a very urgent phone call from veterinarian Dr. Mike Toft to say that a rhino cow had been poached in a reserve north of us, and she had left behind a 4.5-month-old calf. The calf had been on its own for 6 days in the bush, and if they were able to capture it, then we would likely have an orphan arriving at the orphanage in the next couple of hours. We didn't have space for a young orphan of this size, but the team immediately sprang to action, making a makeshift pen for him and sorting out a trailer that he could live in. When Ntoto arrived, he was not in a very good state. He was extremely dehydrated and traumatized from his ordeal, and the team worked tirelessly around the clock, giving him 24/7 care, making sure that they were there if he cried for food, and if he woke up with a nightmare, they were there to console him. It took him a couple of days to get onto the bottle, but once he was feeding, his energy improved 100%, and he's now an extremely energetic little rhino, and he keeps us all entertained with his antics in his boma.
So it's obviously amazing working with orphans, and everyone sort of sees the beautiful picture of working with baby animals. But there's so much work that gets put into every little aspect on a daily basis. The staff at the Zululand Rhino Orphanage are absolutely incredible. They are passionate, they're dedicated, they're not scared of hard work. They get down and dirty, muddy, full of gob and saliva, full of dung, and they really just get down on their hands and knees and scrub and make sure that these guys are well looked after, well cared for. Feeding time, the milk time is always very intimate when you get to spend that amount of time face to face with the orphans. We start with a quick feed, filling troughs of lucerne, horse pellets, teff. While the animals are busy eating, we start cleaning the enclosures. So this involves obviously cleaning up after the animals, picking up the dung, making sure that the water's clean, overflowing Charlie's water hole. We sanitize and spray down all the food troughs every day, make sure that they've got nice clean water, that there's enough sand in their sleeping areas. So it's quite a lot of work. It's very intense, very labor intensive, and a good workout to say the least.
So I must admit, standing here and looking at everything we've got and I've managed to put together is almost unbelievable. I still sometimes have to pause and think, did we really do all of that? And did we really get it done in such a short space of time?
I left there feeling that the orphanage was coming of age. It was a really good feel place. It was being well run. The staff enjoyed what they were doing. All we need now is for some trees to grow, and more importantly, to find some caring donors, corporate or private adoption parents, to assist us in recouping the 850,000 Rand capital expense that we have spent in creating the facility, and to cover the 95,000 Rand worth of monthly running expenses. Folks, these are not my rhinos. These are your rhinos that we are giving a second chance to. We need every bit of assistance we can get. Your effort in supporting the ride is a great start, and for that I thank you. But we need you to spread the word, and we need any and lots of financial support. I urge you to dig deep, bid for a trip up to the orphanage, and become a rhino parent.